Podcasting from Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. This is connecting your community, building community through unity. Getting things done takes activism, and Blaine Higgin and Mallory Christiansen have come together to share firsthand community voices, bringing awareness to community issues, watching how other communities handle like problems, and sharing their successes. Connecting your community. Here are your hosts, Blaine Higgin and Mallory Christiansen.
So this is a really super special podcast. I want to think that it's a very super special podcast because we have an amazing guest with us today, Lee Mein. And I think we're just going to jump right into it because, Lee, you have not only captured so much attention locally, provincially, even internationally, right? So can you let the followers know and tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and maybe what organization you run?
Yeah, my name is Lee Mein. I run the Canadian Martial Arts Centre. I've been doing business in Lethbridge for 25 years. We train, I've trained some of the top fighters in the country, but my passion is helping people make a difference in their lives and in the community. And we train kids age 4 and up, and it's a family thing, and moms and dads training and kids training, and everyone's there having fun and getting the self-worth that they need and the confidence to handle the things that happen in life.
Yes, absolutely. So can you even just talk a little bit about your kids programs that you run, right? Because I think a lot of times the community only sees adult fighters or people accessing your gym over the age of 18. So can we even just spend a moment about the children's program that you guys run for the kids?
Yeah, we have our, again, age 4 to 6 class, 7 to 9 class, and then the 10 to 12-year-old class. And we have our Teen Titan class. And the goal with that is to break things out into the age group where they learn the best, make it fun, make it entertaining for them that they want to do it. Teach them physical skills, attributes that they'll use in all the sports they play, soccer, hockey, whatever they do. It's going to make them a better athlete. Help develop their attention span. Yes. Teach them the discipline that when they're in school, they can focus a little bit longer. They have that, that ability to gravitate towards knowledge and wanting to learn. And that's a big thing. And we have great instructors that do that and still, not just skills and how to defend themselves, but the life lessons about how to interact with other kids, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. There is boundaries and there is rules, and how do we live by those and work with other people, and that's a big thing. And when something's wrong, we teach them to stand up to bullies. We teach them to you have the confidence to stand up for what's right, and that's what I'm trying to get a point across right now with everybody is when we see something wrong, who is going to say something? So.
Yes, absolutely. And that's beautiful. And I think I wish even growing up that I had that offered to me, right? And just even that discipline that you talk about, I think it's wonderful. So thank you for letting everybody know what you do, especially for children as well.
No, absolutely. Well, gee, again, thank you. Thank you for coming in. This is awesome. It's there's been a lot going on lately, obviously, with this COVID-19. And as we start to emerge, I guess, from the issues that we've been facing lately, things are getting better. They're going the right direction. We see the trends, and I guess the flattening of the curve, if you will, is down, and those cases have dramatically dropped where there's minimal showing new ones each day. So I guess from one business to another, how has this COVID-19 affected you?
Well, again, it's dramatically affected my business as a small business in the community, but as a martial arts business and a gym, we have weight room, cardio equipment as well. I mean, it's all been closed. So financially, it sucks for the business because we're a successful business and we were able to give a lot back to the community as far as helping kids who are underprivileged and don't have the finances to do it. We do programs for them. We donate to tons of charities, sports teams, help pay for their uniforms so they can play their, We don't do baseball, but they need a uniform and they want us to sponsor. We do that type of stuff. And that's all gone now. We don't have the ability to do that stuff. And so the biggest thing for me is the effect it has on the students that were there training jiu-jitsu and MMA and the kickboxing for the mental health aspect. Yes. Great, they're getting in shape and they're loving that and burn off that energy and stuff. But the mental health aspect, the people who suffer from PTSD, people with addiction problems, and how they're using training in martial arts and training in a gym as a way of putting their energy somewhere that keeps them grounded so they don't go back to the addictions and they don't have the mental anxieties they have. People that are off of medications that their, doctors prescribed because of their mental illness that they're battling. And they were off of it. Now they're back on it. Yep. Because they don't have an access to train. And that's my biggest problem.
And a way to deal with those concerns and stuff that they're faced on a regular basis.
Yeah. So that's the biggest down thing for me. Financially, I'll survive. I'm a successful business. I can wait. Yes. But it's not about that. Those people might not be able to wait.
Exactly.
And that's my concern.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You talked about something really significant too, was even just the youth programs that you guys ran. And I know, I follow Bikers Building Bridges and the work that they do in the community. And we saw you collaborate with them and bring youth into your organization to give them that opportunity, right? And I know a lot of children who are underprivileged and wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for you. So thank you to you and your heart for our community of Lethbridge. So obviously everybody knows, we know, that recently you made international headline news because you stepped up. You stepped up for what you believe in, not only mental health, for your fighters, for the community, everything. So can we talk about what brought you to the international headlines and what did you do to step up and stand out?
Well, again, for me personally, I'm not big into confrontation. I like to make things work and smooth things over. But when I see something not right, I have to say something. I start to get to the point where I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I can't sit back and say nothing. And I wouldn't have done anything business-wise to fight what was going on, except for my students that were reaching out to me, saying what they were battling and going through. So I know this, when there's a problem and 4 or 5 people say something, that means triple that feel the same way. They're just too afraid to say something. Positive or negative, that's just the way it is. So I take that as feedback. And I know if 5 are saying it, I probably have 15 at the gym that are feeling that way. And their mental health is just important to me as an elderly person who can't see their family because they're quarantined. They all matter to me, right? So how do we make this work for everybody? And that's what I was trying to do. Is I reached out saying, look, we need to fix this. And no one's really getting back to me on it. And I said, oh, here we go. We're going to start dragging feet again.
So who did you reach out to originally?
Well, someone called in and complained that we were open, which I wasn't. We were doing renovations. We're still not even done. We're still putting new showers in and everything like that to make the facility better for everyone. Well, we're downtime. We might as well take advantage. Yeah. And someone called and complained. So I called back to Alberta AHS saying, hey, someone called in. I got your message that there was a complaint. I'd like to address this, and never got a call back. So I thought, okay, well, maybe they're so busy, no big deal. Or they took my response as that's good enough. I don't know. And I hadn't heard anything back. So I said, you know what? I got to say something. I got more and more people reaching out to me. And if I sit back and do nothing, and then something happens to one of my students, where am I? What did I do for them? So as their mentor and as their instructor, I felt I need to say something and make something happen, or everywhere's going to be polite Canadians and just take it. And then what happens to these people,
Exactly. So when you're talking about something happening, what are you referring to? Are you talking that maybe someone could commit suicide as a result of being isolated, not being able to, really maintain that mental health, which you obviously give your fighters and your students? Is that kind of what you're...
Absolutely. I've had people reach out and say they were contemplating suicide again. They were back on medication, which they were off since they started training in my gym.
Any other addictions too, I would imagine.
Right. And people that drank and did drugs, they knew they were going down the path of addiction to overdosing, and they started training with me, and they took care of that. They had an outlet. Absolutely. They had a community of people that supported them, whether they were fighters or just people that trained for fitness and the camaraderie of being in the group and the challenges that martial arts gives them. It gave them purpose. And now they're back because they can't do that stuff. They can't interact. They can't do the stuff they were doing. They're back drinking and doing drugs. And they see themselves going down that path of, do I end up on the street addicted and kill myself that way? Or do I kill myself now so I don't go down that path? Yep. So that was my concern and why I decided to make the video and say, I'm not accepting this.
Yep. And I think that's an area that maybe we haven't even talked about enough, not only locally. I know we have amazing provincial resources that have came forward through this, but mental health deterioration is a real thing through this time, right? And whether it's suicide rate, addiction, mental health, all of that. And we need to start raising awareness. And I want to commend you because you are raising awareness for mental health, right? Yeah. So it's time to take a break. Let's take a short break and we'll come back and we're going to keep talking about this stuff.
Absolutely.
That's good.
This is Connecting Your Community with Blaine Higgin and Mallory Christiansen. We'll be right back after these messages.
The At Smith's Audio on 13th Street North, we promise to only sell high-performance electronics. We promise to support mostly Canadian companies like Paradigm, Anthem, NAD, Bryston, and PSB. We keep promises. Smith's Audio, 13th Street North. Electronics simplified.
Freddy's Paint is all about saving you time and money with quality bench mover paint and our helpful design and paint professionals. Freddy's Paint, voted best of the best 20 years running.
Freddy's Paint and Details, 210 17th Street South.
There's a new art shop in town.
What?
Watercolors, acrylics, pastels, brushes, oils, canvas, and paper.
Oh! Where?
It's new, the art room at Smith's Audio on 13th Street North.
For high-performance sound.
And super art supplies.
And we're back, and I am so thankful, and especially to our sponsors too that keep us going as well. Let's just go back a little bit, and we know that Blaine and I both know when you step out for what you believe in, no matter what it is, that, you know, controversy can happen. Yep. So can we talk a little bit about what the community has done to support you through this time?
Lots of outreach from people who don't train that support what I'm doing for the small businesses and for the community. And of course, with that, you get the keyboard warriors and the haters that are going to, you know, say stuff online. We've had people phone in death threats actually to the gym. I'm like, okay, really? Whatever, call you up. Of course, no caller ID. Don't leave their name, nothing. Just hiding behind things and trying to voice their opinion. And I'm like, I'm trying to build a community. I'm not going to respond back with negative things. I'm not going to get into a pissing contest with people about the belief system. I'm going off of what I see as the facts with the information that's presented to me. I look at it. If you can present something to me that's contrary to that and it looks good to me, I'm going to change my opinion. Yes. But right now I haven't seen that. And I've said this before, my belief and my things that I read, people say, where's your PhD in microbiology? I don't need one, but I can read. Yeah, and I can research stuff. And we have this thing called the internet, the information highway. Yeah. And there's a lot of garbage out there and a lot of good stuff. So if you want to take the time to research and do your stuff and due diligence on stuff, you can see there's a trend here of things. And each day more and more information comes out saying, and I said this, you might not like what I said in my video, but I guarantee you time will prove me right. It didn't even take a week before the numbers and the story changed to where the chance of dying from COVID, or you're more chance of dying in a car accident than you do from COVID. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So I'm like, here again, show me the science, show me the proof that these people are using this they're taking away our rights. That's the problem, right? They don't have the right to do that unless they can prove they have this information, and they don't. They're just going off of what CDC said or the WHO said, who now is coming back saying, oh yeah, we were wrong. So why isn't the government coming back saying, okay, we messed up. We went with what they said and it was wrong. And so we just portrayed that information, which, hey, they got to follow something because they're not going to make up their own stuff. Okay, great. Yep. But come back and say, yeah, we were wrong. This isn't what we thought it was. Let's make a new course of change. Let's do something. Mm-hmm. But they didn't want to admit that for liability reasons or whatever. And I'm okay with them saying, look, we screwed up. Let's revamp this. Yeah, okay. Well, none of us knew what was going to happen. It's such a fluid thing, right? It's,
the whole process is very fluid. It's you don't know. And of course, none of us will downplay COVID, obviously, ACEs, but it's forever changing. We're finding out more information all the time. And even up to the point where we have a vaccine for this, things are going to change. We need to know what we can do to combat this illness going forward. And I'm just, again, glad that it's on its trend down, because there's been, way too many deaths. Any death is too many deaths regarding this. But you know what? It's just, there's so much more to it than that. And I was reading a stat there from California that a 7,000% increase in suicides. And I was extremely shocked. And I don't know, as an area, 7,000% is incredible. And it's another comment had come on this post that it's not what's happening now. I mean, of course, that is, it's terrible with the suicides, etc. It's also going forward in the years to come. Absolutely. If there's been any child abuse, there's domestic disputes, there's the mental health is huge on this, and so we've got so much more to deal with over the years, and it's really quite frustrating actually.
There's a lot of people silently struggling and stuck in their homes right now. right? And we need to talk about that more.
And again, we're not downplaying this. We're not here to downplay that, COVID has done damage
Absolutely.
to our community, both on a mental state.
And that's
as
why
well.
even like when I asked Lee about the kids programs is I think of myself even as a mother, right? And my son's friends and all of these children who are struggling, where it's like, you know what? I want my son to be in your program. I want that, community for him growing up and moving onward, because kids are struggling too. They weren't able to see their friends. They're not allowed to play at the playground for obvious reasons, right? But, we have to be able to focus on the resources moving forward on how to help mental health, and hopefully be able to make it so that people don't feel alone moving forward once everything does relaunch and get lifted, right? So,
Absolutely. So I guess a question I would have is, what do you expect to happen once you're able to reopen again? Because I think we've chatted before that you've had the communication with the province, and that's what it took. It took just talk to me and let's try to work through this together. I just need some answers. So when you're back to being open again, what do you expect community response? How do you think this is going to be going forward?
Well, again, we were successful before this happened, and we have a great clientele that are being supportive, and that's going to continue to grow. We've had more people call and ask about training and what our schedule is and coming to our gym than we've had death threats. So that's a win.
That's me calling, hey, so when can I come for kickboxing moving forward?
Again,
I need it.
We want to continue to build a community and get back to where we're financially responsible, so we can help charity groups and different events and plan the things in the community that make it work. And that's all we can hope for, right? I got staff that are out of work. Not just
a lot
me,
of that. And I can't thank you enough for what's been done with these different teams and stuff on a community level, and the donations that you've done and helping. I've had a family contact me, says that they train at your gym, and I knew that financially they couldn't afford it. So I know that you've went above and beyond to help this family, because it's what they needed. They needed to be able to get their kids into to get that physical activity that they needed. So I reach out and thank you for that, because that's extremely important for sure.
I'm just grateful I have the opportunity to work with them. You know what I mean? Like I learn from them, they learn from me. And I've been there where money is like non-existent. So I get it when you're like can't make ends meet and you want your kids to do something. So
and it's more difficult now. Do you think that you'll find more of that when your gym reopens now? There's going to be it's going to be tough to obviously some of these families have been really saving everything they possibly can. They've been deferring mortgages and utilities and stuff. So when it's time to reopen again, I'm sure you'll be faced with that. As I know as a business owner I am, I've seen this decline, and I've seen that it's not going to all of a sudden come right up to the top and you're going to be off and rolling, right?
Yeah, when the economy is going good, we do well. But when things aren't great, people have to choose. Are they going to pay their mortgage, their car payment, buy groceries? Those are necessities, where the gym to them is a luxury item. But to other people, they'll pay double what the rates are, because what it means to them for their mental health and their physical, what they need. So everyone has different priorities, and we want to be there for the community in any way we can. So.
Absolutely.
And we thank you for being there for the community, for the various programs that you've offered for youth, even our children, for, sponsoring jerseys, all that amazing stuff. You are a community leader. And, the thing I really appreciate about you, and I think I can say this on behalf of both of us, is you weren't afraid to stand up and step out for what you believe in. And I do want to just finish with this, Lee, is that in 2021, we have an election coming up, a municipal election. And I sure hope you consider running for city council, even mayor, who knows, but you'd be good. Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to Connecting Your Community with Blaine Higgin and Mallory Christiansen. Join us next time as we continue to discuss community topics and how all of us together can make a difference. Remember, there is no community without unity.